What's up, party people? Welcome to Saturdays and Seltzers. If you're new here, if you are not, welcome back. I think it's just fair to get it off that this is going to be a shit show of an episode. I feel like that we say that every week, but no, I'm so serious every time. But my name is Kendra Middleton. This is my co-host, Sarah Griffin. Sarah, what's good?
Life's great. Life is just dandy.
Thriving, truly. If you are new here, we open our show every week with this segment called HLH, which is your high of your last week, your low of your last week, and your hero of your last week, which is like something unexpectedly good that has happened to you. So, Sarah, HLH, what is it?
Okay, so part of my high. This is the second show I've done now from the new apartment. So I think my high for this week is we got like patio furniture for the balcony finally. And we were like sitting out there last night, and like I totally see why old people just like go and sit on their front porch. It is such good people watching.
It really is. It
I
really
could sit there
is.
for hours.
I know. That's how I feel about riding public transportation.
True. Yes, public transportation too is good for people watching.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, my low, I feel like we both kind of have some stuff to go off here. I just in general wrote men. I have two reasons for this one.
Okay.
One, this one's Hinge related. So, you know, I go through phases with Hinge. Like, I'm not a big dating app user, but I'll like be like, yeah, let me get back on there, whatever. So the other day,
let me get back out there. Yeah.
I was feeling optimistic, which I was immediately proved by I should not ever feel optimistic about dating. So I like set it because I think the last time I had it, I set it so that you couldn't like see me in the search. Like, so I turned it off. I turned it back on, and you know, the first person they showed me, ex-boyfriend. That is the first person they fucking showed me after me being off Hinge for like 2-3 months.
I actually have a really similar story. So the boy that, and I know he's not listening to this, so I don't feel like the need to like protect anything. He is like the love of my life. Like the boy I was dating right before I met you, like loved him. He fucking broke my heart. And the first thing, like after I was like ready to move on when I downloaded Hinge, like not move on because I still haven't moved on, which is like why I don't really date. But he was the first person to pop up there. And then after I took that Hinge hiatus in the winter, I went to New York like maybe a month or two ago. And he was the first person to pop up for me in New York City. In New York fucking City. New York City.
See, my thing is, I don't know if he listens to this. I don't think he does, but he might have people that do. I won't lie, I reported his account. I reported it because I was so like bitter and angry because he's certainly not the love of my life, but I just dislike him strongly. Kendra knows how much I dislike him.
When did this happen?
2 nights ago.
What? It's just like the algorithm is like, the worst part about mine was that we met on Hinge and dated for like a year.
Oh, well, we met off Hinge. That's how we met. We dated for almost 2 fucking years. And then obviously that was a terrible, terrible breakup. But yeah. And I was like, fuck you. And I was reading through his answers, just like seething.
Can I like say something like it's like tea, but not tea? Am I like allowed to say this? If you change your mind, we can cut it out, but I think it's fine. If you're an OG listener of this show, rock climbing boy.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. It's rock climbing boy.
I don't know. Maybe this is me getting a little too, I might be exposing it. He has an answer on there about rock climbing, which fucking sent me.
I was not expecting this story to like develop so like deeply as like our main character plot just now, but like it really, really went there. Okay, well,
like, maybe I should have said that it's part of his prom too, because now he's gonna be like, we'll fucking sue you.
Okay, well, yeah, whatever. I feel like I should just go with my dating story now because it's from Hinge too.
Yes.
And it was my high other than the weather. So I feel like are very similar.
They overlap.
Okay. So I have to pull up the messages. So I texted Sarah. I feel as though I can't say what sport, but if you are an avid listener, you'll very easily figure this out. But I texted Sarah last night. Oh yeah, last night. Yeah. And I was like, Sarah, do you know who this player is? Because I didn't know. And I knew that Sarah would know. Because it was like, it would be like one of those things where like if Sarah like matched with a Jags player, she could text me and be like,
yeah,
who is this? Like kind of like a similar comparison. And I was like, he was like 6'5", super hot. I was like, who the fuck is this like retired pro athlete? And Sarah, being the texter that she is, like was busy and did not respond to me. So I like double texted her after we were talking about something else this morning. And I was like, Sarah, I need an answer. Do you know who this person is? Because it's a team that Sarah likes, and he like swiped right on me. And he goes, I've got our wedding planned. And I was like, and I saw one of his photos was him in like a jersey for this team. And I was like, oh my God, you used to play for this team. And he goes, haha, is that a good or a bad thing? Does that mean I'm not allowed to date? Also, I'm not over Kendra not being the host of the Greg Hill show. Red flag. Fucking
big red flag.
Red flag. If you listen to my Greg Hill auditions and you are now swiping right, sliding in with that in the DM, I should have just bye. Not that like it was like, I'm glad people listened and stuff, but it's like, obviously if you know how that played out, like that is not a way to slide. And then I go, oh God, you heard my auditions. And then I was like, oh, I just like watch a lot of this team. Mm-hmm. And he goes, haha, I listen every day. Second red flag. Ooh. And then he goes, well, maybe we should go out and play sometime. And then I didn't like respond. And he goes, also, good morning. And he goes, can I be transparent for a minute? And this is where shit hit the fan, because his profile says 6'5", and I clicked on it again and it said 6'3". And I go, you know, as a journalist, what would be the easiest way to figure out how tall this guy actually is? A fucking roster. So I, being the psychopath that I am, look up the roster for this team and find out that he is indeed 6 foot, which really means that he is 5'10", because we all know about the roster height bump. Okay. There's that. So Sarah finally texts me back and tells me that this guy wasn't even really on the team.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And so I go, after he goes, can I be transparent for a minute? I go, sure. Is this about the fact that your height said 6'5" yesterday, now 6'3", but the roster says 6 foot? Because I checked. And he goes, no, period. It's about the fact that you're the only person I've matched with that I actually want to take out. So how do I go about making that happen? And I didn't respond. And he goes, let's play the question game and find out more about each other than what a roster says. Bitch, you picked the wrong one. You picked the wrong one, brother. So like I'm texting Sarah and we both like came to the agreement that like, if you're matching with people that you don't want to take out, why are you on a dating app?
As so why would you lie? Sweep you off your feet. Oh my God, you want to take me out? Like, okay, you're matching with other people, but like, who are those other people? What are you doing?
Also, imagine if I met up with someone assuming they were 6'5" and get there and they're 5'10". That's not even like a 5'10" to 6 foot bump, whatever. That is 7 inches. Oh God, I think Sarah just cut out. She definitely cut out. Will she come back?
A few moments later.
Okay. I think that was probably a good time for Sarah's internet to go out, or we probably would have been rambling for fucking ever.
True.
But that being said, I'm now back and with lunch. So when Sarah's talking, I think I manifested this being a shit show when I said what I said earlier, because then your Wi-Fi went out and now people are going to have to watch me eat if they're watching on YouTube. I don't know if this is like a mukbang or like ASMR now, but like, you're welcome. I will at least mute myself for the people on Spotify. All right, your hero?
Hero, I just have the abs. Actually, I'm not going to say, I haven't really come up with my prediction for this series. I don't think it's going to go to 7. I'm going to go abs in, I keep saying abs in 6 every series. I'm going to stick with it, abs in 6.
Okay.
Because Lightning are scary and they're definitely going to put up a fight.
They are, and we'll get into the game later when we get into our NHL stuff. But last night was also a shit show. I have been saying abs since the beginning of the season. Like that was my pick when we did like our, also, can we talk about this freaking tan line? When we did our preseason predictions, I was abs until I made my bracket and I shouldn't have changed and I did. I don't know. I tweeted abs in 4 as a joke, so I'm just going to ride it out.
Yeah, that game was insane.
It was like great but terrible. But we'll talk about it. So I said my highs, my low. Apartment hunting in Boston for a September 1st lease is the bane of my existence, especially last minute. I wasn't expecting to have to find a place, and now I do, and I'm like high-key panicking.
Yeah, that gives me so much anxiety for you.
Yep, I am not having a good time. And then my hero is, so I've had like pretty much like a work-focused week like a work-focused week. So I'm excited. Tomorrow I have this like big dinner that I've been really looking forward to, and I'm going to eat so much food. Encore like invited me to try some new restaurant of theirs, and I'm going to eat so much food. So that's my hero. Getting like an unexpected, like nice dinner. Mint. So that's my hero. We should really just rename this show to Saturdays and Seltzers, but we're drinking on Thursday.
Yeah, and I don't think either of us are drinking seltzer.
No, we expected to have a seltzer this week with a company that we love to work with, but our Drizzly hasn't arrived yet, so it'll probably be we'll probably do a Tequila Tuesday with it, I'm assuming, except for Powers. So we can review it there, maybe, or next week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But instead, you're drinking. Okay, you said something about a homemade spicy marg. I need to know a recipe.
Okay, so I actually got this recipe from TikTok, and obviously if we love Trader Joe's here, I saw it because I follow one of those Trader Joe's like food accounts, whatever. And so they have these there's two different options. So I bought both of them. They have a spicy mango lemonade, which they said can make a good spicy margarita, and then also a spicy jalapeno limeade. And I bought both of them.
Yep.
And right now I have the jalapeno limeade one, and then just with tequila, it's very good. Very, very good. I did try with the spicy mango lemonade one too. I like that one, but I think I like this one better. But I've actually started just drinking the spicy mango lemonade juice like as is by itself. It's super good.
Hell yeah. Okay, there you go. That's Sarah's recipe. I just have like, I don't even know what to call this. We have had like a bottle of Bacardi sitting in our liquor cabinet for a while, and we've been making mojitos a lot. But I was like, I'm going to make like, I don't know, like a skinny girl mojito. And that's what I did. So that's what I am drinking.
Hell yeah.
I guess I'm just pre-gaming for the Celtics at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's because by the time we finish this, the workday is over and fuck it, we ball.
Like I have a fucking interview at 9 exactly.
That sucks.
West Coast times, man.
F. So I guess we're both smashing our drinks this week. I don't have a ton of MLB thoughts. I know you probably, I think there's only like 2 things that we need to like comment on as far as like significance in our life. And one is unfortunately the Maura Sheridan story. I don't know. You read it, I assume. Okay, that's surprising. So there's this woman who is suing a minor league baseball team because she was assaulted by a player and they fired her, and she found out through
I did see this.
A posting for her job because of it.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, so that's like what that was one of the 2 things I wanted to talk about, just because like Unfortunately, like when I read that story, I was like, I could so see this happening in pretty much any franchise. Like you could have said like, yes, and I would have been like, all of them.
Yeah, say like it's fucked, but it's not even the least bit surprising to me.
Not at all. Not at all. So if you haven't read that story, I highly suggest doing so just because I think that it really like kind of in a weird and like shitty way encompasses like the reality of being a woman in like organizations and sports.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about baseball related this week. The other thing is I just don't understand how the Red Sox, and this is why I wanted to talk about this now, how neither Xander or Devers have been signed.
I pay so little attention to the Red Sox. I get the updates on my phone and I'm like, I cannot pay attention to that team anymore. I don't know what it is. They've lost me. And they're playing well too. That's the thing. Like I said, I get the notifications. I know they're playing well. Just all the bullshit and then just in general kind of losing an interest in baseball. I like have zero comment. I feel like we just say the same thing every time. Like the ownership sucks. It sucks and they don't spend money where they're supposed to. And I feel like it really does look like Devers is going to end up going somewhere else. You know, Xander does want to explore free agency, which he deserves that. He should get paid. Like he's one of the best shortstops in the league. And I don't know, between the Red Sox and the Bruins front office, I'm just about done.
That's where I was at last year with like the urban and bulky stuff. Like truly, like I was in like the thick of it, in the depths, like exploring becoming a Lions fan, truly. So I totally get that. Speaking of like losing an interest in baseball, I thought that I was just making the excuse that I'll get into baseball when the NHL and NBA postseason wraps up. And I'm honestly like, I really don't give a fuck. And for the first time in my life, I'm like, I don't care.
Someone like asked me a couple of days ago if I was interested in like doing like some freelance work, getting back into baseball. I was like, honestly, no, I'm not. And I think I mentioned that last week. Someone said to me like, oh, hope you get back into it. I was like, don't hold your breath. I have zero interest in returning to baseball. And maybe like 5 years down the road, I'll be like, oh, why did I say that? But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Yeah, zero interest.
I'm not having fun.
It's just nothing about it appeals to me at this point.
And that was us talking baseball.
That was like the most depressing story.
Yeah. We went from like, yeah, fuck men, like blah, 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 to like baseball just is my 13th reason. Goodbye. That was so dramatic for no reason. That was so dramatic.
All right, that was a little much of us.
I need like the world's smallest violin to like slowly proceed.
Like, all right, ladies, it's a sport. Let's move on.
Yep. Anyways.
All right, gotta keep ourselves in line there.
Yeah, NFL mini camp started. I don't really have much to say outside of like obviously more depressing shit in sports. Fucking Deshaun Watson has more allegations. It came out that there were 66 massage therapists in 17 months. And that is fucking insane. I was listening, you know that like if you listen to this show, and I feel like we constantly say that, but like we are not Barstool people. Like I do not like the Barstool brand, but the only show, I think you're an Ellie Schnitt fan, right?
Well, she's not with Bar,
even though she's not there anymore, but like you were even when she was there.
Yeah, I was. I'm a Chicks in the Office fan.
Yeah. So I'm a PMT fan, and I feel like it's because they like dick on Dave, and they're like, they're big football people, so I love that show. But I don't like, it's just PFT for me, truly. But Arian Foster, who used to play for the Texans, was on the show this week. And he was saying that in like his career with the Texans, I think he had 3 massage therapists, and he was like 66 in 17 months is fucking insane. He was like, that is, and he basically like said like he did, like he didn't say he did it, but like in a roundabout way, he was very upfront with like he does not think that like whatever. Yeah. And so also, I don't know if you saw this, but his lawyer admitted to like him having happy endings at times.
I didn't see that, but
Fucking incredible. But Deshaun sat up there the entire time. Not one question was asked about the team or the chemistry or the rookies or anything, which is awesome because it's not like he's going to play. Good for the reporters. And so they just like grilled him the entire time. And he was just so like, I'm not answering this. Like his media training, honestly, wow. So I don't know. It just, and at times I feel like ESPN was like making him out to be the victim.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I was watching, what's her name? The one who's like a huge Trumper, not Carrie Champion, Sage Steele. I was watching Sage Steele, and
it could be a lot of them.
Yes. So I was watching Sage and I was just like, oh, like, ugh, I don't know. That's all I have to say about NFL minicamp, I guess. Like that was like basically that. Like that's all ESPN has been running outside of basketball. So,
well, that's another high note.
Yep, another great
good stuff.
Why do we do this to ourselves? Should we just become like, I don't know, a fucking WNBA podcast?
I'm like, we're kind of Debbie Downers.
It's just like, it's you know what? Fuck it. It is so exhausting being a female-owned podcast in sports in the year 2022 because it's like, it's just people sexually assaulting people or assaulting people and dudes talking about it for 30 seconds and then arguing whether some dude 50 years ago was the best at this sport or if on Tuesdays in January every other month this dude is better. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Literally like assault allegations will come out and their replies will be like, yeah, but like he was sick in 2018. Like,
yes.
Hello, are we reading the same thing?
Yes. Like, I'm so sick of like these shows like running these fucking dumb topics and then being like, oh yeah, that happened anyways. You know, I'm like, and it's dudes talking about it. I don't know. I'm just, anyways, that is why, I don't know. Fuck it. I have to sneeze really bad.
Bless.
Okay, sorry. I was rambling because I had to sneeze so bad. This episode is fucking insane. We can talk forever, I think, about lacrosse right now, so.
Bless.
That's 4. That was 4. 4 sneezes.
Is that
okay. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Will you start the NLL segment just in case I have to mute myself again?
Yes. Okay. So for NLL, I feel like a lot of people are expecting the Bandits to win the championship in 2. They Mammoth forced a game 3. They're at home for game 2. I will say if there's 2 places I want to go to watch the lacrosse game, one's Buffalo, the other is Ball Arena because both those crowds were like full, it's so loud, looks so fun. Definitely want to go to a Bandits game next season. I know they sold out for the championship game 3 this Saturday. Bandit Land's insane. Like those fans are insane. I think it was Devin Caney had a tweet because she was at game 1 and she took like a video of the crowd and it was like, if people don't care about lacrosse, like what the fuck is this? Like right now, because they are sold out, I think the cheapest ticket you can get is like high up as possible is like $7 or something. And that's for lacrosse. Like that's big for lacrosse. Like if you want like good seats, it's like at least $200. But yeah, so Bandit sold out for game 3. I don't know if I'll be around to watch that game. I'm definitely going to keep track of it. I am rooting for the Mammoth. I said that was my bandwagon team for the playoffs since the Riptide aren't in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm going for the Mammoth. I think that would be super exciting. But also, I would love to see those. The Bandits are such a powerhouse and they have so many likable guys. I would not mind seeing them. Plus with everything going on in Buffalo, I think it's really cool how the city's like rallied around them and there's just such a powerhouse of team. And I think comes at a great time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I forgot that you went to Buffalo and like didn't get to go to the games. So I feel like that's where we have to go first.
Yeah.
Because that is so depressing.
Mm-hmm.
That was
I want to go there.
So tragic.
Bad. it was the Jeff Teat sock trick game. I will never forgive myself. Well, it's not my fault, but like,
no,
that was his first career sock trick, and I wasn't fucking there.
and you were supposed to be.
Like, that kills me.
Tragic. Yeah, also, but like, I feel like we've been talking about the Bandits all season as like a favorite, so it just kind of makes sense. Plus, like, a lot of those guys play box and field, so like they're just going from one to the other.
Yeah, I would say I was going to get more into like the Bandits Chaos crossover in a little bit. We're talking about next week, this weekend's game, I guess. But yeah, I will say I am, like, as much as I've loved the NLL season, I am glad it's coming to an end this Saturday, because they're getting so many players back. You know, Water Dogs are getting Dylan Ward back, and there's a lot of guys on the Mammoth too, like Zed Williams back to the Whip Snakes. It's going to be nice to see these rosters back to what like their typical rosters are.
I have a feeling too, because like we've kind of been commenting on the crowd during certain games, and I feel like once you have all of those people back, like the crowds are going to be way bigger, way more exciting. Like, I think it's going to be a lot more chaos, if you will, as far as like crowd noise and stuff like that goes. So I'm excited for that aspect of it, because I feel that the PLL does like show the kids on like the screens and stuff a lot, because it's ESPN. Yeah. And I think that that's so fun.
Yeah, no, because I feel like there's, especially on the Chaos, there's so many guys that are like young kids' favorite players. So it'll be nice to see like Dane Smith. They all love him. Josh Byrne, guys like that.
Josh Byrne.
And we're going to see Tohoka Nanakope. We got to see him play in the PLL. I'm pumped about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's so fun. Yeah. We still need to try and get him on.
I'll take any of those Chaos players.
True. If you're a Chaos player, hit us up. If you listen to the show, if you're a Chaos fan, hit us up, like who you would want to hear from, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I mean, we're having Andy Towers on, so might as well.
It's true. Other than, are we just like, okay, are we going to have like the Chaos just control our show at this point? Even though neither of us are Chaos fans, we're just Andy Towers fans.
We're unbiased. Make sure everyone write that down. I'm not biased.
It's true. We are. Or honestly, if you're one of our listeners that's been asking like what PLL team you should support, like I feel like it's very easy to bandwagon on either people we have on this show that you like, or like who we like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like everyone equally.
I don't. Because I don't have to, baby.
Yeah, I would say I've watched listened back a couple. I was like, oh, I should not be saying. I like everyone equally.
You just,
I have a tendency to root for the Cannons and Atlas, but I like everyone.
Everyone is I just hope everyone has fun.
I do. I really do hope everyone has fun.
So we watched the PLL together last week. I feel like we should probably make that a weekly thing.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll come over Saturday.
Yeah.
If you're not, are you working Saturday?
I'm not doing anything Saturday.
Can I invite myself over to your house?
Please do. I beg of you, please do.
Perfect. Sarah and I are just gonna make lacrosse a weekly occurrence. I can't remember which game was the first game last week.
What the fuck was it? It wasn't the Chaos game because we watched that second while we had the NBA game on.
I know. We're the worst.
Oh, it was Redwoods Chrome.
Yes. Yes. Logan Wisnauskas coming out party.
Mm-hmm.
That
was great.
I had a great time. Also, like, Sarah and I were joking about, like, because it's not like I have a second team, because I don't, but if I was going to, I think it would be the Woods based off of Sergio Perkovic alone.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like joking like about my like favorite teams playing each other. And obviously Sergio wasn't playing. So like easy dubs for your girl to just hop on the Logan Wisnauskas hype train. So that, but like, why do they look so bad? We talked about this.
It's just so like weird. I feel like I like read something. I think it was Dan Aretzia like tweeted something like even like in transition, they've gotten like 2 goals the whole like or not like that's what it was, 2 shots. I was like, can't be 2 goals. They only got 3 goals total on Sean Scanoni. Shout out to him. Everyone go read my story.
Dang.
He's fucking awesome.
He is awesome.
But yeah, that was just insane. They set the history for the lowest scoring by a team in the league. And the second lowest scoring was also by the Redwoods with 4. I think it was in 2019. But it's just weird because they have so many starts. And yeah, Sergio is out. Like, that sucks. He's questionable for this week. But just in general, a team like that, like, how are you only scoring 3 goals? And I think it was like 10 shots on net the entire game. That was it.
Well, I think what I said to you was that, like, yeah, Sergio's an awesome player, and we do think that he got snubbed in the rankings last year. But the thing is that loss was not this one player may have, like, teetered the line of making a difference. That was a fucking disgusting loss.
Well, yeah, because, like, week 1 against the Atlas, Jules had a great performance. He looked amazing for the Redwoods, but it seemed like he was the only one that was kind of, like, ready to go out the gate, whatever. And I don't think it's grounds to be worried yet because it still is so early in the season, like especially so the PLL, like, and you're not like, it's not like a regular sports season where like you have all week to practice with each other. Like they really do just arrive the day before, practice with each other. Then like, it's fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about, especially when you look at this roster, like who is really of major concern. Like they check all the boxes. So I think they're just getting a slow start. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to.
And to be honest, like based off of the injury reports, it doesn't seem like Perkovic's going to be out that long anyway. Yeah. Like it says that he's like questionable. So I feel like even if he misses this week, it's next week's probably a go.
And I will say we can get more into this later when we're talking about our like just our picks for next week or games and whatnot. Or I keep saying next week, this weekend. I think the Redwoods are going to beat the Chrome this week, or not the Chrome, the Chaos this week, just because one, obviously, both those teams are 0-2. But I think history is going to kind of repeat itself with the Chaos, especially seeing as they still don't have that core group of guys on their offense. You know, last year they started off the season 0-3, and everyone was like, oh, what's going on with the Chaos? Like, blah, blah. Then they just like won from there on out. I think the same thing's going to happen here, especially it being the last weekend. They're without those NLL guys. And the Redwoods, they seem more frustrated than anyone. I feel like they're a very emotional team that's going to kind of spark something under them. And I'm going to say they're going to come out firing. Maybe I'm going to bite my words next week, which I don't care. That's fine. We'll have Andy Towers here to hold me accountable.
See, I was going to say no fucking chance ATLFG loses 3 in a row.
I'm just looking back at last season because they started off the season 0-3. And then they're like, everyone's doubting us. And then
they freaking, because we talked about that on our broadcast because then we wound up talking about it in the NLL because of the Riptide, and they almost made the playoffs. And it's like, you can do that in lacrosse where it, like, I think in other sports, there's no way, like, other than basketball or baseball, but like if in the NFL you go 0-3, like it's a lot more concerning, I feel like.
And I will say the Chaos, even with these guys who aren't going to be on the roster once everyone from the Bandits come back, I feel like some of our listeners who don't follow lacrosse don't like realize it's, in lacrosse, it's not like in MLB where you have like minor league, like there's that big margin between minor and major. Same with like hockey between AHL and NHL. Like because there's only 8 teams in the PLL, there's such a concentration of talent. And that's why you do want them to expand. So because so many of these guys in the player pool could be on a team starting right now. There's just not enough room for them. So these are guys that absolutely could be on a team, could be a starter. It's just, there is so much talent in the PLL and only 8 teams to distribute them to that these guys aren't getting the chance that they typically would. So it does like, it's not like, oh, the Chaos have a bunch of rag tags right now. Like they don't, they absolutely don't. But it's just the Redwoods on paper looking at it. There's no reason why this team shouldn't win this game, especially given they are such an emotional team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's just, when I think about it, like, obviously it makes sense for the Chaos, like you said, but like we sat there in absolute disbelief.
I've never seen anything like that. Never in a million years. I don't think there's any one team in this league I would think would be like, could only put up 3 goals. definitely would I not think if I were to guess it was going to be the Redwoods.
Yeah, agree. What was the second game we watched? To be fair, we were watching the Celtics while watching this game. It was the Atlas game.
Yeah. No, the Atlas Cannons was
No?
the next day. It was Chaos versus Archers. Was that who they played? Chaos Archers, was that it?
Maybe. I can't.
Here, I have it on
remember.
my phone.
Yeah. We're the worst.
Yeah, it was Chaos Archers. But yeah, we had it on mute because we were watching the Celtics game and it was like on my laptop down low. We were just kind of checking in with the score. It seemed like the Chaos, like towards the second half, was trending towards the comeback, but then just kind of did end up panning out.
Yeah, I don't have any comments about it because I truly was only watching the Celtics.
Yeah, I would say I know Will Manny had a big game for the Archers. Obviously, the Archers were another team that lost the first week to the Chrome, and I think that a lot of people were surprised by that. But I don't know. Again, these are like, it's week one. You can't read into those week one wins and losses, I feel like.
Yeah.
Week two, we kind of got a better idea. Like, I will say, just historically speaking, the Whip Snakes fucking love keeping games close because they win those close games. But I am very intrigued to see how they fare against the Atlas this weekend because I feel like that'll be like a true test as to what kind of team they are. Because we know who the Whip Snakes are. We know historically they're like this powerhouse, whatnot. But right now, the Atlas are at the top of the league. Like, they're the favorite to win it all. And I feel like the Whip Snakes are in need of one like really dominant victory that's not going to keep people sweating and like go into overtime. I don't think that's going to come this weekend. I'm assuming it's going to be a blood battle, especially this game I'm most excited for just because of the face-off between Baptiste and Nardella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because those two just in the top of like all the face-off stats rankings I was looking at, it's like either Atlas Whip Snakes or Whip Snakes Atlas. Like just the two of them are by far the best right now. So I'm very interested to see how that goes because they can swing the game. Like we saw with Baptiste with the Cannons. He went 83% at the face-off and the Cannons had like 5 or 6 possessions, maybe the entire game. Like there's only so much you can do with that. So I definitely want to see how that fares between those two. And then just in general, like I feel like I want a better feel for the Atlas because they do seem like this powerhouse. But then the Whip Snakes, like they pulled off these 2 wins, but they really had to like push for them. And last game was overtime. So I want to see one like really good game. I think this is it.
So as far as the Nardella Baptiste thing, I think that my favorite thing about that matchup is like the difference in like their body type. Like that is such an interesting, like I cannot wait to watch that aspect. But like to your point about the Whip Snakes, I want to talk about the Water Dogs specifically from last week. I don't know why. And back to like the Barstool thing. Like I hate to say it, but honestly, they do influence a lot of topics in sports, unfortunately. But I feel like there's like such this bump in popularity for the Water Dogs because of their podcast and that being like the team that they're aligned with. But I just, despite them having like a decent amount of fans and like people on Twitter that interact with them, I just am consistently like just so unimpressed.
See, I really like the Water Dogs. Like, I really liked them last year. I really like the roster that they have.
I like their roster.
And, like, this year, I feel like it's just so – well, one, they don't have their starting goaltender, Dylan Ward, who's one of the best. So, it's going to be, I think, very different once he gets back. But also now they just got hit so bad with the injury report, especially Michael Sowers, who they were without all pretty much last year except for 2 games. And obviously, like, he was the number 2 pick in that draft. He went right behind Teat, but a lot of people were like, who's going to go first, Teat or Sowers? And just in general, I was super excited to watch him play. And it sounds like, I don't know what specifically is going on, but I think it's just going to be super unfortunate if we have another season where we don't see Michael Sowers in there.
Yeah.
He plays so hard and like, just as he's someone that's so fun to watch. And I feel like, especially as a fan, he's an easy fan favorite for Water Dogs. Like, if they're, because I feel like you said, the Water Dogs has a lot of people that aren't typically lacrosse fans, but they're like, oh, I'm a Barstool fan, I'm going to be a Water Dogs fan. And that he's someone that he's also like he's pretty funny. It was one of the press conferences, it was right after they lost, and he just like sat down. I was like, fuck.
Yes, I've seen that video of him.
I think I sent it to you because I was like, was anyone else catch that? Like,
yes.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. It's just unfortunate. And then they're also without like Napoli. They've had a couple big. Oh, Jake Withers they're without, who's their face-off guy. Like that's big, and they have one of the best face-off wings. I think they have the best face-off wing with also like Rylan Reese and Zach Currier on his wings. So it's just throwing off the whole balance there. And then you're without Sowers. You still don't have Dylan Ward. I think it's going to be a tough week for the Water Dogs with all their injuries. And then you're also up against the Chrome, who are just like riding that high.
That was my next comment, was I might have to eat my words because the Water Dogs are playing the Chrome this week. I guess we can just like move into like previewing this week while we recap last week. Like, I might have to eat my words, obviously, but they are 0-2, and the Chrome, like you said, are riding that high. And I feel like I talked about last week, and like, as you know, they had a lot of people who got injured early last year who are back. And like, I feel like the team has just kind of found this gel. As long as they can keep that going, I think that it's going to be really beneficial to like get some wins early on. And I think you sent me the injury report yesterday because we were talking about Sergio Perkovic and Michael Sowers on there. And it's like, they have a lot of injuries. So it's like, especially if they win this week, like that's going to suck.
Well, so I was talking to the Chrome's head coach, Tim Sudan, yesterday. And he like said to me, because he was talking about it, he was like, yeah, we had so many injuries last year, like blah, blah, blah. He was like, obviously injuries happen to everyone. He's like, but we really had a lot of injuries, which they did. Their team was like depleted pretty much by the end of the season. And now they've got pretty much everyone healthy. You know, you've got some new faces in there. You had some retirements from like John Galloway and whatnot. But I don't know. Like, he was like, I feel like we've really put together like the perfect locker room. He like told me, he's like, there's a lot of ball busting in our locker room. Like, we're having fun. Like, it just seems like they have such a good group chemistry wise that they've got going on there that I don't see them like slipping and falling through the cracks often, just because they are riding that high one. They're coming off a season like last year, they were depleted. And now like they have all these upgrades too, in like places that not necessarily upgrades. Like, it's not like they had a bad team last year. Again, it was just depleted. Now you have like young guys in there too, and everything's just gelling for them.
All right, so you're taking the Chrome this week? All right, me too. We just kind of talked about the Atlas Whip Snakes game. They're both 2-0, and I think the difference is going to have to be from like the offensive production side for the Whip Snakes to be able to keep up with the Atlas.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think the Atlas, like, obviously their offense, you can't slow down that Atlas offense. I don't know. You could put the best defender out there. You got Teat, Gray, Eric Law, all of them. That's just not something. Like, their bench healthy scratching Jake Caraway, who was one of their top producers last season and one of the best, like, he's one of the best at Georgetown. Like, when Jake Caraway's a healthy scratch, like, that's not an offense that's going to be very easy to stop. I agree with you. I think we haven't, like, the Whip Snakes offense, we know what they're capable of, especially that group of attack. I feel like they are all pretty much like very used to playing with each other at this point. Like, a lot of them played each other at Maryland. And I feel like we just haven't seen them hit their peak yet. It's just been a slow start on that end for them. Like, obviously Brad Smith had that winner, the overtime winner. Then we, like, Jay Carlson has looked really good. But I don't think we've seen it yet, especially because they're still missing Zed Williams too.
Yeah, I think that, like, because they have so much talent on their attack, the expectations are really high. And for that reason, like, I feel like it's okay for me to have the expectation that that's going to be the difference maker this weekend. But also, like, I feel like they just haven't been able to bounce back from that loss to the Chaos.
They're just, even in their 2 wins, they haven't impressed me that much, which sounds silly because, like, they won those games. But it's just like you said, like, I feel like in general, we hold the Whip Snakes to this high standard because they are kind of like the Patriots of the PLL. So you do hold them to a certain standard and you're expecting this, like, dominating win over certain teams. And we just haven't seen that yet. And I don't think, there's really nothing to me out of any of these teams that I think are a cause of concern right now because it is still so early. It just doesn't feel like the typical Whip Snakes team yet.
Yeah. I have a comment really quick, just kind of as an observation.
Yes.
I think that for early season lacrosse, this is going to be a fucking fantastic weekend of lacrosse for a couple of reasons. And it's because every single team outside of the Water Dogs Chrome matchup have the same record. And the Water Dogs Chrome game, an 0-2 team and a 2-0 team, one of those teams is going to go in the win or the loss column. So it's like, that's kind of fun. Oh no.
True. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Whew. Your internet is cutting out.
Mine?
Yeah. I think you're back.
I would say it doesn't even say that for me. It still has full bars on Wi-Fi and stuff.
You paused, but okay, I have you back. So I'll just cut this. Tyler, you might have to cut this, and then you can just answer what I said.
Okay. Wait, did my response not go through? Oh, well, I said I didn't even think of that. I did not realize that, but yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, sorry. Sarah's internet just cut out again for like 0.2 seconds. So I like missed what she said to my answer. But I think that that's like so fun for like early season lacrosse, like the fact that this accidentally happened.
Yeah, I'm excited for this weekend. I do, of course, I have to talk about the Cannons. I think okay, I said this in because I did the game recap for Atlas Cannons. I don't think the score accurate. Yes.
Wait, Whip Snakes Atlas, before we move on, who are you taking?
Atlas.
All right, I'm going to go Whips.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Moving on to the Archers Cannons game. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So I said in my game recap, I don't think the score accurately reflects the Cannons game. Obviously, when you're without Lyle Thompson, that's a big blow. But I really do think that Cannons offense picked up the slack the best they could, given the fact Trevor Baptiste won 83% of the faceoffs, right? Like I said, there's only so much you can do when you only have possession of the ball 5 or 6 times. And when they were settled in, I think they did a very good job. They capitalized on it. It was just in transition. They weren't able to complete anything. There was turnovers. But also, I think that's just a testament to how good that Atlas midfield is. Like, I think Trevor Baptiste said in the press conference after, he was like, yeah, like even when they did get possession of the ball, like we were wreaking havoc out there. Like we were causing turnovers, we were making checks. Like it was just so tough for the Cannons to like really settle in. But when they did, especially guys like rookie Asher Nolting, I think has looked so good in just those 2 first games. And I don't know, I think he's someone that a lot of people pictured him to just be like a guy that needs the ball on his stick to do something. He's done a great job just like feeding guys, setting guys up. I feel like he really stepped up in just a second professional game, especially with Lyle Thompson out and like helping like get the ball moving, get it around. Like it wasn't like he was just going straight to the net every time trying to be the hero or anything. I think that Cannon's offense is very like unselfish in that sense, that no one's trying to be the hero. No one's trying to do anything, even with Lyle, who is someone that everyone's like,
is he playing this weekend?
He's questionable.
Still?
He's just like, yeah. Like that is someone you build around. Like he's a generational talent. We all know this. Like fucking Lyle Thompson. Everyone knows who Lyle Thompson is, and that's tough to be without him. Yeah, but I think the Cannons, like when they had the ball settled in, they looked good. And I'm again, like I said, I don't think there's any team that's any concern right now. I'm not concerned about the Cannons. I think the face-off was their biggest issue there. But that's not really on Stephen Kelly, I think. I think that's just Trevor Baptiste being Trevor Baptiste.
Agree. Okay, so who are you taking this weekend?
Between Archers, Cannons, I'm going Cannons.
Okay. I think I am as well. I did take the Whip Snakes just because I think we are obviously going the same way for the rest of the games, and we need a tiebreaker.
True. Okay.
I think the Atlas are going to win, but for the thrill.
Yeah.
Obviously we both already said that we're taking the Woods over the Chaos this weekend because of the people who are still playing for the Bandits. As far as this matchup goes, I think the Woods are going to be pissed and they're going to want to win. And I think the Chaos are going to be pissed and want to win too. But the thing is that like, I feel like they don't have like the same fire because of those people who are out. So it's like they're either going to really have to have like a fantastic defensive showing or just take the 0-3, get your people back and move the fuck on.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think the Chaos are going to put up a fight because they put up a fight these last 2 games. And it doesn't seem like, I mean, why would you? They are using this excuse like, oh, well, most of our starting offense is in here right now. Like, Chaos are putting in the work. They're making teams play the full 60 minutes, like not 60 minutes. I'm going hooky, but yeah. Just in general, I think the Chaos have like had all the makings of a winning team. Like they play that entire game. You know, they're never given up at one point. Even when they fell behind last week, like they came out running in the second half. But yeah, I just think the Redwoods play such an emotional game that they have that spark under them. Not to say the Chaos aren't frustrated, but just given the stakes right now for this specific Redwoods roster, I feel like it's a must win for them, which sounds insane for week 3, but
it's true though. And it's like, I don't think that Andy Towers is going to go 0-3, but like, I just can't.
I'm like,
in good faith.
The rankings or the standings are going to look so different, even just like 2 weeks from now.
Totally.
That I'm like, this week it's like whatever at this point. I feel like after week 3, that's when you really start to get a feel for what team has like that playoff mentality and what not playoff mentality, but like who has the better shot than other teams. Like we'll get a better feel for everyone altogether.
Well, yeah, because like we said, like these guys aren't in a league where they have the luxury of working out and practicing together day in and day out during the week. Like these guys probably have, I would say probably half of them at least have like a normal 9 to 5 and are like normal functioning people of society and pro athletes on the side. Like that's their passion project side hustle. Yeah. Is that they're like lacrosse players on the weekend for 15 weeks in the summer. But it's like, they're practicing with each other the day before and then going and playing a game either the day after or 2 days from that. And it's like, obviously you're going to take a little bit to 1, settle into your team, 2, settle into the schedule, and 3, settle into the schedule. So it's like, we've said this with the NLL and PLL, like going 0-3 doesn't really mean anything to me.
Yeah, this early on, I'm just like, whatever. Like, we're getting a feel for these teams. They're getting a feel still for each other.
Yep. Okay. Is it time?
I think it's time.
Wait, I gotta take my headband off. It doesn't fit me without it. Wait. All right, Sarah, I'm letting you run this entire segment. I feel like you have to like intro it with your article though.
Okay, yeah. Otherwise, no one's gonna.
If you're listening to this as a podcast, I feel so bad for you.
I don't know why my first thought is, you know, the B movie.
Yes.
You like jazz.
You like.
I feel whenever
okay. You owe the people an explanation to the fedoras.
I do owe the people an explanation. Okay, so if you didn't already read it, you should go read my article this week. It's on the Chrome goalie, Sean Pinoni. So last weekend, he wore a fedora off the bus. You know, they do the game day fits. And the Chrome posts that, and everyone, lacrosse players loving it. They love the fedora. I did ask about it just because me and Kendra were so intrigued by it. We were doing this best dress segment. And of course he made the list, spoiler alert. But I did ask him about it. And he's like, I'm actually not a fedora guy. It's a
unfortunately.
Team thing. He said he could be though. But I guess it's a team thing. Started by their head coach. He brought it and he wore it the first weekend. And then Sean got it the second weekend. Logan's supposed to wear it this weekend. There's a chance he might forget. He better not fucking forget.
I'm going to tweet our show picture at him with these hats on.
It's like,
I feel like Kevin Federline.
I fucking hate this. But so it's like sister to the traveling pants, but like brother to the traveling fedora. Like I kind of love it. I think it's a great team bonding. But then like I was talking to John Galloway and he mentioned something about it just like out of the blue. And he was like, yeah, but he needs some dressing tips, like that fedora. I was like, oh, good thing you're not on the team anymore.
No, I'm tweeting this at Logan. I'm not joking.
Does he have Twitter?
I hope so.
It gives me the vibes that he might not have Twitter. Maybe
If he doesn't, I'm going to tweet it and then put it on our IG story and tag him under the shared tweet.
Wait, we have to wait to see if he wears it before we tweet it. Wait to see if he wears it so that if we did, we could do find the difference. There is none.
Well, no, I think we should encourage him to wear it so he doesn't forget.
I say we wait. We wait.
Okay. Anyways, Sarah's leading our best dress segment.
Yes. So obviously, I'm going to say he was our number one because it was a universal thing.
Top of the pyramid. Top of the pyramid.
Top of the pyramid. And then we each have, I think we have one more overlapping.
Okay.
We both had Ryder Garnsey from the Redwoods.
Yep.
I feel so weird having this. Everyone look.
Hey.
Yeah,
with the Celtics hat. It's only because of the Celtics hat.
He's a dedicated Celtics fan too. He dyed his hair green.
I know.
Maybe in the Milwaukee series.
I mean, the Inglewood like 34 is cool. But like, I don't know. His Celtics hat is kind of fresh.
We love it. Love that.
Okay, so he's 2.
All right. And then we each had 2 others that were different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so sticking with the theme of me, I'm not biased, I swear, because obviously I did a story on Sean, but then I also did a story on Kobe Smith, and I do have him on my best dress, but like, look how good, like that's a great fucking outfit.
Okay, wait, no, he's on my pyramid too.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I feel like, no, I just sent you these because I had them.
Oh, okay.
Not because they were my top.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I sent them to you so you could go through all of them and then we could rank them. Sorry, we didn't talk about this ahead of time, really. We were like on like Hinge drama.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, let's get fedoras. And we were like, yes.
I literally hate this.
Well, you're doing it for like 13 more weeks.
I hate it so much. Anyways, yep. Kobe Smith. So you know what? I would just like to say, if I write a story about you, you're probably well dressed. And that's going to be my new, for the rest of the season,
criteria.
Only writing stories on people that have drip.
Or you have to finish your article with drip check and then rank it.
Yes. All right. Then we also have, or I also have, maybe he's also on yours, Asher Nolting.
I'm bored.
Really? I liked it.
Okay, why?
It's just fun. I like when they actually like show some person, like it was a cute shirt. Like he looks so happy, and also
are those cargo shorts?
Maybe.
Sarah.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I can't tell what type of shorts they are, but they're not cargo shorts.
They're giving cargo.
They're not. Look at what I sent you. They're not.
Is it the email or the text thread?
Oh,
it's a text thread. Oh, they're not cargo shorts. Okay, you're right. They from first glance, they fucking look like cargo shorts.
Yeah, I can see why you thought, especially when I'm just holding up to the screen. But I don't know. I think it's cute. And like honestly, outfits last week were kind of boring. So this one is giving more than most.
The kid in the background is really giving me nothing.
It looks like he's going to prep school.
I do. Is this like a natty t-shirt though?
I can't tell. I honestly just really like the smiley face, and like he also has a very smiley face himself. So
I think it's a natty t-shirt, Sarah. It says have a natty day.
I'm still putting him up there. I liked it. I support him.
Okay, who's next?
That's all I had for one saved. Those were the ones that were given for me.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the bottom of my pyramid is Luke Kuechly. Like, okay, I'm going to go on a rant. This is the bottom of my pyramid because other than that, we're almost the same. I want to talk about two people in this photo. One of them being Luke Kuechly. Luke, you're a multi-millionaire, and you retired early. So you have time and effort to put into things because you are still a spring chicken, brother. I hate the gray shorts with the Patagonia gray shirt and gray Patagonia hat. You couldn't have at least mixed up the brand. Like, are the shorts Patagonia too? And then gray sneakers. This is grout fit and like not even done well. Second person I want to talk about in this picture.
Okay.
You know, Paul kind of slayed.
Oh, he always, this season so far, he has very, very good outfits. I feel like in general, he's just very well dressed. That outfit was very good.
Slayed. It's like comfy casual.
Laid the house boots down.
Like comfy casual, but also trendy because one, he's got the Love Everybody shirt. Mm-hmm. And two, he's got like the light jogger, like Lululemon jogger ABC pant situation going on. And then he's got like the on-trend like white sneakers that aren't Air Forces. But I will say the reason that I think that this is high fashion is because it's like a monochrome neutral outfit, but also with like a message that's on trend.
That's very good fashion analysis. See, I'm just like, oh yeah, he looks fashionable. He's a fashionable guy. Like, love it. I saw a fucking smiley face. I was like, yeah, like that's a fucking natty.
Sarah, I have seen every season of America's Top Model, every season of Project Runway. When we said we were doing this and I was like, fuck it, let's get fedoras, I did not mean like, let's show up and talk about a smiley t-shirt. I meant we are bringing our A game and I am fucking Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada.
Right, I will keep that in mind for next week. I will get more critical and I will get more into fashion analytics. Because I was like, oh, cute shirt, love it, smiley face, he's happy.
So Paul is the top of my period.
Okay.
Period. Cannot believe it took us 43 weeks to drop a period joke. I did start my period today. You're welcome for the insider info. Yeah. We are in sync. Oh my God. I pray for the world. Also, that means that we both, okay, if you're a boy, okay, you know those TikToks that are like, if you're a boy, like exit out of this video now and they'll be like something gross. I'm telling you now, fast forward the next fucking minute and a half of this podcast. And I'm going to give you 3 seconds to do it. And I'm so fucking serious because I'm about to say some crazy shit. Okay. The fact that we both get our periods with the full moon, kind of scary.
Terrifying.
If you know, you know. But anyways, I like don't want people to have to like go too far. So yeah, that's what I had to say. But if you hear this, you're good. You're back. I was being psycho for a second. So Luke Kuechly, bottom of my period. Damn it, I said it. At least I said a minute and a half. I said a minute and a half. I'm in a fedora talking about my period.
While we're talking about what people wore to lacrosse.
This cannot be real life. Anyways,
okay.
Pyramid, top, bottom, middle, Ryder Garnsey. That's mine.
Okay. Let me think here. I feel like Sean doesn't count. Just we're universally like yes. I'm going Ryder Garnsey at the top. Middle, Kobe Smith.
Okay.
I'm not putting Asher Knowlton at the bottom. I still like his outfit. I don't care if it's an t-shirt. Bottom. Who's bottom for me? I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of boring outfits. Like
there were so many boring outfits.
Yeah, so I think people need to step up their game a bit.
If this segment doesn't
outrageous, so then either they're at the top or bottom.
This segment better encourage people to dress better because I'm not fucking around. I am not fucking around.
I was like, see, you're so critical.
Despite the hat.
I'm like, well, I don't want to be mean. I'm like, I'll never have someone my bottom. Let's be fucking.
I'm like, Luke Kuechly, do more.
But yeah.
Okay.
Top,
so Sarah
Garnsey, middle, Kobe Smith, and everyone just needs to try harder.
Do more. Okay. So we can take these off now. I think.
I'm taking this off. I hate that thing.
Okay. NHL. This is gonna be such a long show on accident, but whatever. Okay, NHL. Other than the Stanley Cup, obviously the thing that came out this week outside of Rangers players and Connor McDavid, which we'll get to later, Bruce Cassidy is now in Vegas. And Sarah, I think it's only fair to let you have your time.
I'm fucking ripshit. I'm so fucking ripshit about this. One, just because, well, like we said, he was just a scapegoat in this whole thing by the Bruins front office. If there are people that need to be fired, Bruce Cassidy was not one of them. If you're going to fire him, you might as well go clean house, which they're not going to do. Anyways, we had that rant last week. Of all the fucking teams, obviously I knew he was going to get picked up quickly. Why wouldn't he? He's such a good coach. He's proven. Yeah, he doesn't have a Stanley Cup yet, but also we got into the depths of it. Like, that roster he was given, just whatever. 2019 is going to haunt him, but it's going to haunt us all. Of all fucking teams. Not just like, I don't like Vegas. I'll say they're probably one of my more hated teams. Like, the Leafs are down there for me. Like, they're obviously my bottom
The
tier,
Blackhawks.
Yeah. But Vegas, just speaking in terms, because those are like teams that, like, obviously Boston, Toronto, like, they have a rivalry. I don't like the Habs, like, and then Blackhawks are just a fucked up organization. Speaking strictly as just unlikable teams, Vegas is an unlikable team, which is why that's bottom for me. I hate that Jack Eichel gets Bruce Cassidy. Jack Eichel is on the list of hockey players that don't know they're my enemy, but they are. The only one that does know is Max Domi. He's one of them. He's very well aware. I know that. I hate that Jack Eichel is getting the privilege of being coached by Bruce Cassidy. I know the whole narrative with Bruce. I get it. Like, oh, he doesn't do well with these young guys. He doesn't develop them well. You give him pretty much jack shit for the most part to work with. Jack Eichel doesn't deserve Bruce Cassidy. And I can't stand Jack Eichel. And I hate that he's getting this. I hate the Golden Knights besides their team dogs.
That is about how I expected that conversation to go.
Yeah, I'm taking it pretty well.
That is exactly how I expected that conversation to go. I feel the same way. The only thing is that, like, my only concern in this situation, and there is like a 3% probability that it will happen, is if by some fucking long shot it is Bruce Cassidy that has an issue developing these young guys and Jack Eichel were to go to shit, which isn't going to happen, but that could only be like the last potential hurrah. But I don't think that's going to happen, like I said.
Yeah, I know Bruce said today, like, he does feel like he has something to prove, especially after 2019. He's like, I was let go. Like, I have shit to prove. I'm like, did you? Like, yeah, I think he has stuff to prove in terms of developing young guys. But also, you look at the Vegas prospects, they're a lot more interesting than what's down for the Bruins. So I think it will be a good indicator of what kind of coach he is with those younger guys. And it's going to, I think, for him, it's going to suck to not have someone like Patrice Bergeron around. But I think Bruce will do fine there. Like,
he's fine.
he's going to be fine. He's a great coach.
Yeah, and it's like it's not like he's going somewhere that has like shit talent.
No. Like, he has a lot to work with, a lot to look forward to.
I was concerned he was gonna like go to the Devils, so
oh my God, I feel so bad for him. And now his family gets to go to Vegas.
Which, okay, I think that I've said this during the NFL season, or maybe like early on like NHL last year when all that stuff was going on with the Raiders. But it's like, if you're a young millionaire and you're a professional athlete and that's how you have your money, there's very few cities you want to be in. All right. It's like New York, LA, Miami, Vegas. Like, those are where you want to, that's where you want to be. And it's like, the only unfortunate side to that is if you are someone who's married and has kids and you live in fucking Las Vegas.
Yeah, I guess speaking in terms of that, just like, because Bruce Cassidy's the most dad of all time. Like, he just has so much dad energy. You know, he has this cute little family. It probably is going to suck going from living in Boston, or I'm sure you live somewhere outside, but raising kids in Massachusetts to having to raise your kids now out in Las Vegas.
And it's like, yeah, like you can afford obviously like private school and like whatever, but it's still Vegas.
Yeah.
So
that's true. But
that's like my
fun adventure.
Totally. Like, it'll add a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
You know?
Bruce goes Vegas.
Yeah, it's Bruce Vegas, baby. Obviously last night was game 1 of the Stanley Cup final. We're both rooting for the Avs. We've said it like a million times on this show. Like, we love the roster that they've put together. We're big fans of Cale Makar. I love Nathan McKinnon. And the Bolts, I just don't want to see three-peat. I kind of alluded to earlier that I was like a little bored. Like, the goals that happened, like none of them were like fucking crazy, like cool, whatever. Like, it just felt like game 1 of the Stanley Cup, like either nerves or just accidents.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the most exciting game. I feel like game 1s in general, just unless you have like fucking Battle of Alberta or something, I don't think I was expecting any crazy games like that, because these are two such high caliber hockey teams. You're not going to see like craziness like that. I do hope we get at least one game that's like, holy shit, what's going on? But that's pretty much kind of what I expected it to be like.
Yeah, which is weird because I don't know, like the game went into overtime. So it's like, you'd say like on paper, it's like, oh, you know, like a 3-3 game that went into overtime. Like, that was probably such a good game. But it's like that first goal that bounced off of like gear and like was, I don't know, like it's whatever.
Yeah, I was just happy to see that the Avs won, pulled it off. I will say, I actually, because obviously game 1's like no one really, there's no way to tell really. Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, I think it's definitely going to be the Avs, or it's definitely going to be the Lightning, especially seeing as those teams don't have a ton of experience against one another. I did say, I was like, I think the Lightning will take game 1, even though that the Avs are at home, and they very well could have. I think it's a very winnable game for them, clearly, but I'm glad it went to the Avs. But yeah, I feel like that's just how the whole series is going to go for the most part. I'll be very surprised if there's like more than one game where it's just like lopsided scoring.
Yeah, I was in a group chat last night with the Missing Chicks girls talking about the game, and I was like, Callie had mentioned how she had basically just seen that the media was like, oh, this is Bolts all day, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's crazy because I've seen that too, as far as like national media goes. And it's like, I don't really understand why, because it's like their point is that it's the goaltending. Like, if you have the best goaltender in the world, that's like what's going to sway you. And I'm like, okay, like I understand that. And I agree with that. But the thing is that the Avs have the best player in the world right now, in my opinion, in Cale Makar. And it's like, when you have defensive scoring in your back pocket, let alone defensive scoring like that, I think it deserves a lot more respect than it's getting from national media and like retired hockey players, for sure.
That's the thing. I don't like, because I agree with you. I feel like there's like, oh, Lightning's goaltending, best of the best. Yeah, obviously, like we all fucking know that. Like, anyone that knows anything about the NHL knows that. But like you said, like the Avalanche's roster is stacked. They have so much depth that you regularly see, like, I feel like more than most teams, you see those fourth line guys scoring. You know their names. Like, the fact that they're like regular names that people like recognize should tell you all that. Then yeah, you have fucking Cale Makar, who was starting to debate, oh, is Connor McDavid actually the best hockey player, or is it Cale Makar? You know, he's getting compared to Bobby Orr by Wayne Gretzky,
Literally.
like, all these things. And then and I'm like, it's very evenly matched. It's not like Darcy Kemper, some scrub. He's no Vezina winner, but I don't know. I think this is like a perfect matchup. I do hate seeing the Lightning here again. I think it's so boring and kind of bad for the sport, if you ask me.
I agree.
But I don't know. I think it'll be good if the Avs win.
I agree.
To be honest.
I think that how old is Cale Makar? 23?
23, yeah.
I think if a 23-year-old fucking slays the Tampa Bay Lightning like that, that is the David and Goliath story that the NHL needs. Whereas if the Bolts three-peat, that is a very bad look for the sport.
Yeah, it's just so boring. And that's why
it's like Alabama.
Because I'm like, for the most part, I'm like, is there anyone that's actually rooting for the Lightning that aren't Lightning fans? And there are some people I'm like, why? Do you not understand how boring that is? They're like, well, I don't like the Avs. You like the Lightning?
Right?
They're becoming the Patriot. Like, everyone hates the Patriots. Everyone should hate the Lightning.
I stopped caring about the Lightning when they got rid of Tyler Johnson. That was when I was like, you are fucking dead to me.
I still think the funniest thing in the world, I don't care if they won 2 cups since, is when they got swept by the fucking Blue Jackets. That's hilarious. I will never forget it. And I don't think anyone should ever let them forget it, because that was fucking cringe. And then they made that cringe tweet like, we don't have the words. We know you don't want to hear it. You should have just said nothing, because now that's all I ever think about. I was like, yeah, you may have 2 cups. You may be back for a 3rd time. You got swept by the fucking Columbus Blue Jackets.
Your argument ends there. So we both already gave our predictions. Who are you taking game 2? I'm gonna stick with the Avs. I think they take it at home.
Yeah, I'm going with Avs.
Cool. I guess we have to talk about game 6 tonight. I think the Warriors win tonight. I'm sorry, Celtics fans. I think that the Celtics postseason, not losing 2 in a row, comes to an end tonight. Also, this will be up by the time this is recorded, but I heard that the Warriors already have a room booked at Memoir tonight.
Really?
Yep.
Cool. I mean, I'll go with the Celtics just because.
Game 7 chaos. Why not?
Yeah, I'll go with the Celtics. I'm Bostonian, whatever. But I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Jordan and I had a great time the other night talking about basketball. It's so much fun talking basketball with Jordan. Maybe we should have Jordan come talk some shit on the show about the Celtics next week or something.
She'd love to.
Yeah, I think we should do that next week, either win or lose. I feel like she could, summarize the series.
Yeah, I would say we'll have Andy on and we can have her come on for like that
the Saturday
segment.
show. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should try and plan on that. The only thing that I think that I have to comment on, have you seen all the stuff going on with Ayesha Curry?
Yeah.
I love that Steph wore an Ayesha Curry can cook t-shirt.
Oh, I didn't even know you did that. That's funny.
Yeah, in post game after game 5.
That's pretty funny. I did not know that.
Yeah, and then someone asked him about it in like the post or like pregame or whatever, some sort of press conference in the last couple of days after that one. And he was like, when you've been around as long as I do, like you just have to like throw the smoke back or whatever. Like basically that's what he said. And I'm like, that's kind of true. Yeah. I don't know. I've had fun with it, but like, if that's like the comment that gets you mad is like someone being like Ayesha Curry can't cook when she has like dozens of restaurants and cookbooks, like whatever.
I thought it was a pretty good, fair joke.
I thought it was
hilarious.
A good, clean, like G-rated comedy from the city of Boston, us classless folk up here.
I'm like, the amount of things that they could have said and they said that, I thought it was clever and, like you said, good, clean banter.
And it wasn't a Draymond Green joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
My only comment, and I know that I have been like kind of flaming Celtics fans a little bit. I'm just so sick of every game being that the Celtics lose. The first thing that's said is the refs. Like that's just all
the
that
refs.
Dude, I'm so fucking sick of that card. It's been the entire postseason. But whatever. My pop culture shit of the week as we start to close out the show. I have two things I want to talk about. We can just kind of join them, I guess. One, I want to talk about Kim Kardashian ripping Marilyn Monroe's dress.
I'll be honest, I read that. I was like, I don't give a fuck. What did they think was going to happen? I'm like, why did anyone okay her to wear it? That's what I thought. I'm like, why was it okay to wear it? What did they think was going to happen? I don't know.
It's not okay that she got to wear it, first of all, in my opinion. But it's like, she had a mock dress made, or she could have just asked the designer to make one for her.
True.
Like, he's still alive and you're a billionaire.
I'm just like, why is it just not like a museum or something?
It was.
Well, then why were they like, yeah, you can wear this?
She took it.
How much money?
It was in a museum, and she went and tried it on at the museum in Orlando, and they let her borrow it. And now the strap is ripped off, and they had to sew the back together because of fucking Kim Kardashian's ass. If that goes to tell you anything about America, it's literally that fucking billionaires can destroy pieces of like public history with their ass, and it's fine because they're a sexy billionaire.
Ass too fat.
Ass too fat.
Crime committed. Ass too fat.
How it just like it's not the fact that, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Marilyn Monroe stan. Like, I have actually like when I was a kid, I was so obsessed with Marilyn Monroe. I have like an American history like collection of like collectibles of her at my mom's house. So like this is like very niche.
You're talking to someone that was obsessed with the fucking Kennedys, or still kind of am.
There you go. So it's like, I love her, and I guess it's kind of the same thing. I don't know. I'm disappointed that we are in a society where Kim Kardashian can ruin shit with her ass, and it's expected for us to just be like, okay. My other pop culture shit of the week, Britney Spears' ex-husband crashed her wedding. And I swear to God, if I ever get married and one of my exes isn't that obsessed with me to the point where they try to ruin my wedding day, I don't want it.
I feel so bad for her. I'm like, seriously, this woman has been through so much shit. She's so excited. I'm sure she still had a great wedding day. But I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, cut this woman a break. Like, leave Britney alone, literally.
I am here for the drama. I'm like, oh my God, like, this could be a Hallmark movie.
I just feel so bad for her.
I feel bad for her too.
I don't know what her mental state's like. Like, I don't know. I'm like, she was probably just so excited, and like now, like, oh, here's what's supposed to be the happiest day of your life. You've gone through all this shit over years. Oh, by the way, your crazy ex is here now. And like I said, I'm sure she still had a great day. Like, it all like was resolved and whatnot. But I'm like, fucking give this woman a break.
It's true. Poor Britney. But like, it's just like, I kind of live for that drama, but I also don't have the trauma of being America's most beloved pop star.
Under conservatorship by your like
literally
crazy dad.
Yep. I don't know. I hated it for her, but loved the storyline.
I just hated everything about it.
That is why we are the yin and yang of podcasting, people. My Tea Party segments. I want to talk about Connor McDavid because I feel like we have to.
Yeah, I would say I had McDavid and Tim Anderson as mine.
Okay, your tweet about her pink top, though, I was so serious when I was like, I hope that she's an influencer and has a Revolve link, because I feel like every influencer has a Revolve link, but I need to know where that fucking shirt is from.
Some people responded to me with like similar tops. So, like, it might just be an older top because no one could find that specific color. And I was like, well, I wanted that specific color.
Mm-hmm.
I have to stay on brand, so I need the hot pink one, and no one could find it for me.
Every single like Connor McDavid fangirl is going to be in the crowd in that top next year.
The tweets that came out of that were so fucking funny. Hockey Twitter is so funny.
We talk about it all the time, but I follow so many of like the young like mitts and chicks type on hockey Twitter.
Comedians.
And Gen Z has no fucking boundaries.
They are comedic geniuses, like every single one of them.
They have no boundaries. None.
I'm like, I feel like a creepy old woman, like liking every single one. And it's like reached a point because there's certain stuff I can't retweet because of work, whatever. But I'll like go and like them all. And I'm like, fuck, how are they so clever?
It's so funny. And they're so quick about it too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I sent you one where it was like a bunch of like my girlfriend's like guessing NHL players. And it's like different like pros. And then it's Connor, like she's like, Jim, Jeff, George, and it's like Igor Shesterkin and like I don't know. Yeah. And then it's like Connor McDavid's picture and she goes Connor McDavid and her contact photo is the picture of the girl that he left the bar with.
I will say I feel so bad for his girlfriend Lauren.
Me too. I followed her on Instagram.
Brutal. And I won't lie, I made fun of her a few weeks ago. I don't know if it was on here or to someone else because she's the one that designed those god-awful Oilers Wags jackets that were like graffiti art.
Yeah.
And I know she's also the one that designed their like funky house they've got going on. She seems sweet. Like she seems like a nice girl. I would not wish that upon anyone. And then you just have that blasted everywhere and everyone's making jokes at your expense and you have to like just watch it all play out. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, well, and it's like he's gonna get to keep the house that she designed and everything because, like, obviously it's probably his.
Well, I bet they're not even gonna like because they're not engaged. I don't think because I think they're still dating.
Yeah, they are still dating. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm assuming, yeah, she just has to like turn a blind eye. I'm sure they had maybe one conversation about it, though I can't imagine Connor McDavid's an easy person to have a conversation with.
I don't care who you are. It's over if you publicly embarrass me like that.
Oh, yeah.
Over.
I don't know how wags do it. I really don't.
Like, you don't think they're still together, do you?
I think they are.
Bro, I went and tossed her a follow on Instagram. So like when the fallout happened, I could be like a girl's girl and be like, I want to support your content and like whatever endeavors you get into or whatever. But if she stays with him, girl, do not Khloe Kardashian yourself.
I really feel because that's what those wags do. Like there is no way a lot of them like don't know. I don't know if you saw I think it was Jake Diekman's wife from the Red Sox, like made a TikTok, like, oh, the Red Sox wags and their like problems, whatever. It was a funny TikTok. It was cute. And someone commented and it was like, oh, too bad wags, like constantly getting cheated on or whatever. And she like made a video. She's like, funny, it's always people that aren't married to athletes that are saying this. And I do agree with her point. Like, I don't think anyone, unless you're like in that like group knows specifically, but also I'm like, I do think it's a bit naive to be like, oh, you don't get it. Like, cheating's not as common as you think. Like if everyone from the outside looking in knows that guys are cheating, then you do too. Maybe your husband doesn't and maybe his friends don't. But I think it's just like, again, I don't want to discredit her because she is a wag or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like just in general, I'm like, I think it's a bit naive to be like, no, it's not near as common as people think. Because that is a conception people have, and I think it is a very true one. And we've seen it play out so many times. It's just another example of it. Same with Tim Anderson, the same fucking week.
Well, it's also like the only other comment I have before we talk about the Tim Anderson stuff. And it's like, it's not even like, we feel this way because we have obviously like privileged information that is private between us and like athletes and stuff like that. It's not like I didn't sign like anything to say I wouldn't talk about things in certain situations. Obviously in some, yes, and others, no. But it's like, I feel this way just as like a fan in general. Like it is very common knowledge that athletes are consistent. Like, I don't want to say stereotypes exist for a reason because I feel like that's not fair to say, but it's like, there are just certain thoughts that are commonly known for a reason.
I'm like, a fucking 12-year-old boys on TikTok know it. there's probably some truth to it.
It's true. And also, like, infidelity isn't like something that just exists among professional athletes. Like, it's very common in all of society.
Everywhere.
It's
just these guys are like, they have that title of pro athlete, so it's almost easier for them, especially when they're on the road and like they are known. Like, and girls will be like, oh, I don't know, like whatever. I don't know.
All right, you want to talk about Tim Anderson, and then I have one other tea party before we get to our closing thoughts.
Yeah, the Tim Anderson story. Have you seen much of this?
I have,
wild,
but not to a point where I feel like I could like accurately describe in its entirety.
Okay, so he obviously cheated on his wife, who's fucking, not that it matters, but like she's fucking stunning. They have kids with each other. They've been married now for a hot minute, like all this. He cheated on her with this woman who posted a picture of, I think it was just initially a picture of it, was like my baby daddy or something, tags him in it, which like bold. But then you look, he's like in multiple, she's posted multiple stories, and there's ones of him just like looking at the camera, like he's not trying to hide. Like she's filming him and he's like reacting to it, like not trying to hide it at all. And I'm like, okay, and he's literally having a child with this woman.
I hate that.
Oh, I feel like baseball in particular has a very, very bad cheating issue. Probably because it's the easiest, because they're on the road so much. It's such a long season.
And they're in a lot of the same cities consistently.
Yeah, I'm like, it is fucking insane that this woman was just posting him as if she didn't know, because obviously she knows he's married with kids. I'm not putting the blame on her, even though that is insane of her to do. I don't think she gets away with being innocent, whatever. But why would he allow that? And why is it? I don't know. This whole thing is just insane to me.
Yeah, that is not fun. On a lighter note, I want to talk about the love of your life, Greg Grippo.
Love Greg.
Sarah, the bagel okay, so I sent Sarah 2 of Greg Grippo's stories this week, like this morning, because he was eating a bagel like a, oops, sorry, I just kicked my desk. Eating a bagel like a psychopath. Like he was eating it like a sandwich, like didn't take it apart and eat like each half of the bagel, was just like fucking raw dogging the entire thing together. And then his follow-up story was that he was getting a lion tattoo for like courage or some shit on his entire arm today.
I'll let the bagel one go, because I don't know. I've never had a Jersey bagel, but I feel like people talk them up a lot. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe they are so good. You just want to eat them like a sandwich. I can let the bagel slide. Not the corny ass tattoo. That knocked him down a couple pegs for me.
If you have like a bear tattoo for like courage or bravery, or like an eagle tattoo for freedom, or like a fucking, I don't know, lion like Greg Grippo for whatever fucking reason, that shit, unless you play for like the Bruins or the Grizzlies, or no. Yeah. Okay. Or like fucking Team USA and you get like an eagle tattoo, fucking awesome. Go for it. But if it's like, yeah, I just feel like my inner like primal self like really reflects through this animal, you know?
Also, of all people, Greg
Grippo. I literally just watched like the bagussi of cream cheese drip out of your mouth after that bite, and you're gonna tell me you're getting a fucking lion tattoo for courage? Like, shut the fuck up.
Boy that I have a crush on should not have any of that. Let me make that abundantly clear right now. If I have a crush on you, you are not any of those things. And Kendra can attest to that, because she knows the boys that I have like dated and hooked up with, but not a single one of those boys can get away with that.
Don't do it, Greg.
It's just not you. It's not you, honey.
I'm just gonna start asking him to take you to Chili's in a cut-off t-shirt so he can show off the tattoo.
I cannot wait for him to post it. I really can't.
Can I go? I need to know if he's like posted an update.
Oh, very please. Active on Instagram.
That's on. Yes.
You already posted one.
Sarah, the update. Thank you to all who have been so supportive, but I am not getting a lion hunting a gazelle tattoo. I did get a very small tat though. Thank fucking God, he is a comedic genius. And we looked at this because I just
knew he wouldn't do this to me.
Thank God.
See, lines up perfectly of men I would have crush on.
Thank God. Thank
Some
God.
Stupid shit like that just to make a silly little joke.
Oh, I am so relieved for you. Chili's
Really?
can continue.
It did knock him down a few pegs where I was like,
oh. Text of the week. I just want to say anti-shout out to Gary.
Fuck Gary.
Fuck Gary.
Gay ass Gary.
Gay ass Gary. No! I'm just gonna like quickly as possible.
That wasn't like meant to be offensive.
That was so funny. I just gotta end the show here. Thanks so much for listening to Saturdays and Seltzers. War Eagle, kick ass in the College World Series, boys. Thanks for listening to Saturdays and Seltzers.
I'm not homophobic.
Leaving that in. Oh, Tyler, cut it here.